So good morning everyone. Welcome to today's online class. In today's class, we shall be discussing a very important unit, that is Unit 5, social issues. Okay, so let me have a screen sharing. If you have the textbook, please open to Unit 5. So let's start. The unit itself talks about social issues. What do you mean by social issues? Social issues are the problems what a society is facing, what a community is facing. To be precise, what our nation is facing. What are social problems? Social issues will include especially caste system, the bifurcation of the rich and the poor, the higher caste and the lower caste, the status, superstitions, untouchability, and even the social issues also will include unemployment, a problem which is there for every one of us, especially in India, most of us. Okay, dowry, okay, child labor, all this comes under social issues. Whatever problems we have in our community will be termed as social issues. In this unit, we will be discussing about three important lessons. That is, the first lesson is a storied house. Second is storied house part 2, and we have a poem that is abandoned. Okay, so very interesting lesson actually. A very thought-provoking lesson, where this lesson will be dealing about a Mahar or a Dalit, what kind of problems he has faced, how did the society treat him, had he overcome the problem or not, how the higher community is suppressing the lower community, what kind of prejudice, I mean bias or differentiation that is seen in the community, where people who are rich or who belong to higher community, how are they behaving with the lower community people? See, we are all humans, but still we always go for status. We always go for dominating the people who are of a lower community. That is still existing in India, unfortunately. So before going into this lesson, we have a poem, a stanza taken from Rabindranath Tagore's poem, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Into that heaven of freedom, my father led my country away. Such a lovely verse. So what is the meaning of this? Actually, the entire society means you, me, every one of us, we are all living in a society, and we must live in unity, and we are not supposed to be separated by narrow domestic walls. What are these narrow domestic walls? These narrow domestic walls include our caste system, okay, our superstitions, untouchability, discriminating people based on their color or their race they belong to. So these are the narrow domestic walls. Rabindranath Tagore very clearly says that where the world has not been broken into fragments. Now we say that we are a united nation. India is a country with lot of unity and diversity. The statement is very clear that India is a united nation. But are we all united? Are we really showing that unity? No. It's just there like that, but sometimes it is neglected. It is neglected because of these fragments like caste system or superstitions or racial indiscrimination based on color, creed, whatever it is. So he says very clearly that world should not be broken down into smaller fragments. Like a rich community should not live at one place, and the poor community should not live at one place, or the higher caste should not live at one place, and the lower caste should not live at one place. Here our society say, the poet says that we are completely engulfed. We are completely engulfed by prejudice. What is prejudice? Prejudice is partiality or biased thinking. Most of us, we show affection towards our community people. For example, I belong to one community. Okay, let it be like, some are Hindus. Hindus will try to show more of inclination or more of, affection to the Hindus, or regional effect also. Telangana person talks very close with Telangana person, not with the Andhra person. Or similarly, like, the higher community people wanted to have friendship with the higher community people and not with the lower community. Remember, we are all created by God. Okay, the rich or the poor, okay, the higher or the lower, whoever it is, we are given one life by God. Okay, we are leading a human life, but not the life of the rich or the poor or superstitions or whatever it is. So everyone should speak very clear from their heart, and that should be accepted by the other people also. And he also says that these kind of things, the fragments of caste system or the superstitious things or racial indiscrimination or social injustice done, these are making our country not to develop or not to have peace of mind. We cannot say that India is a united nation or a united country when we have some small things which are troubling the unity of our country. He says, let my country awake. Into that heaven of freedom, I wanted to see a country. He prays to God. Tagore prays to God that we should lead the nation to such an ideal state. When can we be an ideal state? We can be an ideal state when you treat your fellow being as you treat your family member. When you don't show discrimination between the rich and the poor. Okay. When you share your feelings, when you don't think about yourself and think about the people, then you can say that we can make our country as a ideal state. Development is not seen by buildings. Development is not seen by infrastructure. Development is seen with how the people are living in the community. Whether everybody are leading a peaceful life, whether everybody are living like brothers and sisters, where everybody are sharing the feelings to other people, and where everybody are treated equal without having prejudice or bias or partiality. So when these things are there, he says that our country is going to become a ideal state. Okay. So this is the introduction about the lesson, that is the storied house. Hope you're all following. Now, here you have a oral discourse. Maurya has raised a hand after the class, after completing the explanation. Social issues are the hurdles for the development of a country, whatever country it is. Okay, social issues are always a problem to us. Just now I said social issues is superstitious, caste system, community differences, higher and rich, status levels, and even untouchability, and even low economic conditions, poverty. All these are child labor, child abuse. Okay, all these are women harassment. When all these things are there, how do you think that the country is going to progress? And the consequences, the role in making the world a free heaven of freedom. When all these things stop, these are all narrow domestic walls. How a house is going to have a wall, okay, to protect us, but these social issues are making our country not to have peace of mind. Okay, so let's enter into the lesson. A reading, the storied house. What do you mean by storied house? The meaning of storied house is a floored house, the ground floor and the first floor. This story is about a person by name Bayaji. Okay, And this lesson is written by the author Vaman Govind Howal. I repeat, Vaman Govind Howal, Hoval. So he is one of the writers of Marathi language. Okay, and he has chosen this lesson in order to portray or in order to show what kind of social injustice is done in his community, how the Dalits or the lower community people are becoming the victims in the hands of the higher community. This is a short story. Okay, it symbolizes, okay, it portrays, it picturizes how the Dalits are going to be awakened in the society, okay, against the injustice that is done by the higher community. So he talks about, he portrays about the worst kind of caste system what is existing in our country. And he also, motivates for the enrichment of Dalits. Okay, lower community people, okay, who so called as the tribals or the scheduled tribes, or those people should be given equal rights and they must be treated equally. So he talks about emancipation. Most we should not have these bodily pleasures in our life. We should be contented with whatever we have. We should not even feel if somebody is having something better than you. Don't show your hatred. Don't show your ego on the people who possess something better than you. And if he is lower in community and if he is possessing good than you are not supposed to, dominate him or try to suppress. So this is a heart-rending society, heart-rending story of Bayaji, okay, who belongs to a Mahar community. So Mahar is a Dalit community in Maharashtra. Okay, let us see in detail what is the lesson about. Okay, right. We'll go sentence by sentence. There was something really wrong with the state transport. Okay, there was something really wrong with the state transport. Most of our RTC buses, if you see our Telangana also, there will be some technical issues, okay, repairing issues. So there was something really wrong with the state transport bus. It had come up with winding road in the mountain. What do you mean by winding road? The road that is going to have turns. Winding road. Okay. Now when you go to Tirupati or when you go to Vizag or something like that, the roads will be in zigzag way and winding. Okay. Winding road in the mountain as if with a lifetime effort. The bus, when it has come to the turnings, it has come in such a way that it has invested all its lifetime effort just to cross the windings or just to cross the turnings. To cross the turnings of their village, this bus has kept its lifetime effort. That means it was really struggling to move, especially when it is on a elevated, when the road is in this direction. Okay, when like it is with this height a little bit higher, it is not able to just travel on that. The road was now downhill, and yet the bus moved as slowly as a sick man. To get on to the elevated place in this way, it has kept its lifetime effort. Okay, sometimes when you wanted to achieve your ambition or a goal in your life, you put your lifetime efforts, and when you reach that ambition, my lifetime efforts have come true, you see. Similarly, the bus, in order to move, it has moved with such a difficulty that as if it was keeping its lifetime efforts into action. And finally, after climbing or after passing the high elevated place, then the road is in this way, inclined or slope. The road was now downhill. Till now it was uphill. Now it is downhill. And yet the bus moved as slowly as a sick man. It was just moving like a sick man. A sick man, with the help of a stick, he walks very slowly and steadily. He staggers while walking. I mean, he moves, wobble. His feet will be very wobble. I mean, delicate. So he keeps on like this and slowly he walks. So like that, the bus is moving even the downhill, the slope area with much of difficulty, as if a sick man is walking with the help of another, with the help of the another person. How it, when another person takes your support, when you take the support of another person, when you're not feeling well, you walk very unsteadily, and your pace, your footsteps will be very less pace. So like that, the bus is moving. It reached the plain, straight road, okay, the plain which is very smooth, where the dispensary building was situated. What is dispensary? Dispensary is a place where medicines are prepared and sent to hospitals. Dispensary is just like a go down where medicines are kept and supplied to hospitals. Dispensary building was situated and stood still. There it went and suddenly stopped. From there, it was not even moving an inch and stood still without any movement. No sound of the engine. Driver is trying to, start it, but it's of no use. Like an obstinate bull. Obstinate is stubborn. Stubborn means in Telugu you say mundi, mundi gattam, something like that. You say no, a bull. Bull is, Gunapoth or something like that. It's, sometimes how many words we tell also Gunapoth mein varsha padnattu, something like that. Because bull, obstinate bull, stubborn bull, it will not move at all whatsoever it is happening. If you beat it also, it is just like a statue. It stands like a statue, and the bus now halted like a obstinate bull. Now the destination was hardly a mile or two. Hardly 1.5 kilometers is the destination. Hardly a mile or two, 1 or 2 miles away. Very near, hardly 2 to 3 kilometers. But the driver was sore. What do you mean by sore? He was upset and annoyed. Okay, the driver was upset and he was annoyed because he tried, and finally he was completely not showing any willingness. Sore, and the conductor had no option but to be silent. The conductor cannot speak anything. He was just quiet. When they realized that the bus wouldn't move any faster, so they have come to a conclusion. They have started it, they have pushed it, everything they have done. Okay, and finally they realized that the bus is not going to move any faster. It's not going to move any faster. A couple of passengers claimed, God damn it, for a bloody nuisance. God damn it means what? Generally an expression to show that you are angry. Damn it, you say, no, like that. So when you are angry, you show your anger by using this expression, God, what a nuisance, what a disturbance. Here it is. Okay, this is what the first paragraph is about. So Bayaji was traveling in that particular bus. So when the bus came to the winding road where it has turns, it was not able to move smoothly, and it has kept its lifetime effort to move to the winding road. And then when the road was even downhill also, it was not able to move. It just moved like a slowly as a sick man. So the comparison is just like metaphor, directly compared. The movement of the bus is compared with a sick man. Figures of speech, it is a metaphor. And when it reached the plane also, it was not able to move, and finally it has halted in the near the dispensary. Okay, and just it stood like a obstinate bull, like a stubborn bull without any movement at all. And the destination was not very far away, just 2 to 3 kilometers. But the driver was annoyed, was angry, and the conductor was very silent, and they realized that the bus is not going to move any further. And the passengers expressed their anger or pain by saying, damn it. Next paragraph, you see now. The conductor asked the passengers to get down, and they all put their strength together to put the to push the bus. All the passengers got down and they started to push it. Having gained this initial momentum, when they started to push it, okay, when they started to push it slowly, initially, I mean, it started to have some momentum, movement. It started to move slowly. The bus started. Passengers clambered up. Clambered means the moment the bus started, all these people, clambered means what? Climbed. Okay, clambered up, jostling one another. Jostling one another means pushing one another. Now, when you see, now most of you are traveling in a school bus or you might be having a personal vehicle, but in the days, 10 years back past, we used to depend mostly on RTC buses only, right? The moment the bus comes, people used to get into the bus or clambered. I mean, people used to climb, not climb actually, board the bus or get into the bus, jostling one another, pushing one another. Will you follow a queue when you climb an RTC bus? When you get into an RTC bus, most of us don't, especially in the villages or something like that. Or if I have seen it even in Sangaredi bus stand also, when the bus comes, students and everybody, keep on rushing each other, pushing each other, and they try to get into the bus. Jostling means to push one another. Okay, the conductor rang the bell. So earlier, you used to have a bell, a rope will be there, and it will be the conductor just pulls it and tongue, and then the driver starts the bus. The conductor rang the bell and the bus gradually took on speed. Slowly it started to move. Slowly it started to move. Where am I? Slowly it has got the momentum and the speed. It entered the village reluctantly. Reluctantly means unwillingly. Unwillingly. Okay, even in 8th class also you have in the lesson tattered blanket. Unwillingly. The woman, she was unwilling to get up from her armchair. Okay, it entered the village reluctantly like a truant child. Truant child means a child who doesn't want to go to school for no reasons. He will not have a genuine reason. He will never say that I suffer from fever, or I have a stomach ache, or I have a headache, or something like that. He is a truant. Truant, exact meaning, I'll tell you what this truant is. Yeah. A, who stays away from the school without leave or permission. So there is no specific reason. Without having any specific reason, they'll be off from the school. Right? As it would, as it wound its way and moved its way through the curves on the outskirts. I mean, outskirts means the outer space of the village. And before entering the village, that is called as the outskirts. Okay, or after the village passes. Because on the outskirts, it groaned. It groaned and croaked. It groaned means what? It cried with pain. It has cried with some pain. So made a deep sound, engine sound of the bus. It made a deep sound and then groaned and groaned and croaked and like that when it is going to lay a egg. Croaked like a hen about to lay eggs. Okay, it just made a sound with difficulty, something like that, like a hen about to lay eggs, and stooped with a bang and stopped with a bang all of a sudden. Okay, gave a jerk and stopped with a bang in front of Bujaba Patil's residence. Bujaba Patil's residence. Bujaba is one of the person who belongs to that village, who belongs to a higher community. As it all did, it gave a, what did it give? It gave a big lurk. What do you mean by lurk? Sudden movement. It gave a sudden movement. When suddenly a brake, sudden brake is applied, what will happen? The person who's at the back will fall in the front, and the front person will go and hit the front window of the bus. So this is a lesson. We shall stop for today, and we will continue in tomorrow's class. Okay. I hope you have understood the lesson. Okay, if there are any queries, you can ask me now. So before we wind up the class, thank you for your listening. Have a great day.